Welcome, friends. Belly on up to the table. Prepare to loosen that belt as I prepare a feast for the ears at the cyber cafe known as Sunday Smorgasbord on February 4th, 2018. Those little openings are kind of a tribute to Richard Hammond and how he introduces the Conversation Street on the Grand Tour shows. I tried one last week too, and I tried this one. So, I mean, they're not as clever as Hammond's, but I'm not a professional writer in any way. So, you know, you get what you pay for, and I'm not paying myself anything. So, yeah, that's the way it is. So we'll start quickly with the channel's health. We have gained a subscriber. We're up to 4. We had 47 views last week on 9 videos, so we're averaging a little over 5 views per video. Hey, that's up from the less than 2 views per video that we were doing last week. So, hey, we're going in the right direction. So, hey, as long as we're still moving up, I'm good. Just keep plugging along, keep doing it, see what happens. Sports topics and Forza Motorsport topics seem to be what I'm getting my hits on. Nothing else seems to get any hits. So, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I love video games. I love Forza Motorsport. I love Forza Horizon. I love sports. So, I mean, it's stuff I love to talk about. But in this video, since it is Super Bowl Sunday, I'm kind of curious what the ratings are going to be for this Super Bowl. Now, the ratings in the NFL were down all year. Across the board, they were just down. The Thursday night games, I think Sunday, Monday, everything, all the ratings were down. People weren't watching. Some of that was due to the controversy of the kneeling players and the whole arguing with Trump. And believe however you want to believe on that. It's your business. But the ratings went down. I even know some people that stopped watching football altogether. Even casual watchers who would just tune in on the games every once in a while, basically because of that controversy, just said, I'm done. I won't watch now, period. So some of the casual fans that might have just tuned in just because there was nothing else really to watch on a Sunday afternoon or a Sunday night would tune into these games. Well, now they just basically say, I'm not going to do it. So the NFL's health isn't doing as well as it could be, which makes me wonder about this Super Bowl. What will its ratings be? Now, it's going to probably be the highest rated show of the year no matter what, but will it be down from last year? How much will it be down? Will it be up? My prediction is it's going to be down. And my main reason is because there's not enough star power in this game. First off, the only star you really have on the field, the only stars I think are going to be Tom Brady and Gronkowski. Those are especially Tom Brady. That's a name that pretty much everybody, even people who don't know football, know Tom Brady's name. But a lot of people are sick of the Patriots. So if you're a casual football fan, if this is not something that really, floats your boat and you're not a diehard NFLer, you may not watch this because you're sick of hearing about the Patriots. Also, the team on the other side isn't being given that much of a chance to beat the Patriots. So you're going to think to yourself, well, why watch? If that team really isn't going to beat them, why watch? I don't really want to see the Patriots win another Super Bowl, so I don't really need to watch this game. The commercials, even the last few years in the Super Bowl, haven't been that good. And that's the reason a lot of casual fans even stick around in these games is so they can watch the new commercials. I mean, the last few years, there's been a lot of duds on the Super Bowl commercials. I don't know if it's because they're trying too hard or, we just expect them all to be big and grandiose, and some of them almost seem pretty basic. It's like they just paid to put their, name and they just paid a lot of money to put a commercial up and not really tried to make it memorable. And to me, if you're going to pay whatever they're paying, $2 million, $5 million, whatever the thing is for a 30-second spot in the Super Bowl, I would think you'd want it to be memorable. And last year, I can't remember a single commercial. Can't remember any of them because none of them really did anything that made me even really chuckle or anything. They were all just pedestrian at best. So you kind of, and even 2 years ago, the same thing goes. It's like I don't really remember the commercials. So the casual fans that are watching the commercials, maybe over the last 2 years, they're going, well, the commercials haven't been that good anyway. I don't really care that much for this game because the starting quarterback, casual fans won't be able to name for the Philadelphia Eagles. They probably wouldn't have even been able to name Carson Wentz if he was playing. But to be able to name Nick Foles, the only reason you might, and you might even call him Nick Folks or Mick Foles, or because you don't really know his name and you just hear it kind of in passing on the news or something, and you go, yeah, that Mick Foles guy is starting for, the other team. So with only Tom Brady really being the only star on the field, yeah, you got Belichick, but people don't really like him either. So other than Patriots fans and Eagles fans that are definitely going to watch, how many more people are going to watch? How many more people are really going to be that vested in this game? A lot of people are looking at this game as it being quite boring because there's even if you look at the whole week leading up to this, there hasn't been a lot of drama. There hasn't been a lot of big stories leading up into these 2 weeks. I mean, it has almost been very calm leading up to this Super Bowl. There hasn't been a lot of big stories. Nobody's really running their mouth, other than one guy that made a prediction that the Philadelphia Eagles were going to win. Pretty much you can find somebody on every team that's going to predict their team's going to win a Super Bowl. It's just whether or not you're going to listen to them. But the Patriots are going in. This is very ho-hum for them. They've been to, this is Brady's 8th. This is Belichick's 8th. Josh McDaniels and his other coaches that are there have been to a ton of these. It's a big game, but for them, it's a game they've been to quite a bit. So they have more of a let's go through the not motions, but let's go through the procedures. Let's do the practices. Let's go through. Let's dot all the I's, cross all the T's, like we always do. Go out, play a great game, and let's win this thing again. Where the Philadelphia Eagles probably will be playing with a little bit more emotion. They're a little bit higher up, but not a lot of star power on. I mean, other than Ajayi. Maybe Cox on defense. I'm not. There's Alshon Jeffries, Zach Ertz. I'm trying to think of big names on the Philadelphia side of the football that can maybe draw, and I can't really. It's not like they have Reggie White or Randall Cunningham. Guys that back in the day, if those guys were, or Donovan McNabb even, they don't have a guy like that, or Terrell Owens. When they first went to the Super Bowl, they had McNabb and Owens going up against Brady. So there was way more star power there. Excuse me. So will the ratings really be there? How far will the ratings go down? If the ratings go up, I'll be shocked. If they go up over last year, or if they're in the top 10 Super Bowls of all time for ratings wise. I still think it's going to be a good game. And I did in a previous video predict that the Eagles would win this game. And it's a gut feeling. I still have that gut feeling that the Eagles are going to pull this thing off. But, my gut is not my gut is not going to determine the winner. The players on the field will determine the winner. And I know that the Patriots are an incredible team and probably should win this game. So if they do win this game, it's not like it's unexpected on my part. My gut's just telling me the Eagles. So I'm going to follow my gut. I'm going to go with it, and I'm going to still say the Eagles are going to win this thing. But it's not like I'm going to Vegas and putting $1,000 down on the Eagles. It's just not going to happen. Vegas needs, of course, the Patriots to win because a lot of people are putting money on the Eagles. But if you look at most of the people predicting the games, they're still going with the safe bet, which is the Patriots, as well as they should. There are still people that are picking the Eagles because other people are picking the Patriots. I think the split isn't quite what I thought it was going to be. There's not as many people picking the Patriots as I thought. Because I think a lot of people are looking at that NFC Championship game and maybe putting a little bit too much stock into the Eagles. That was one game. It was one game where the Minnesota Vikings were coming down from an emotional high of a huge game where they won on a big play at the end, and they were thinking they were down. Oh, we're gonna lose, and then a few seconds later, they're going to the NFC Championship game, and then they had to go play the NFC Championship game in Philadelphia, and I mean they were probably emotionally worn out. I mean that takes more of a toll than you think. So, but I still think now the Eagles have had 2 weeks, but I'm still going with the Eagles. As for the Super Bowl, I think the ratings will be down. I think that the controversies that they've had all year, the concussion stuff, the concussion problems, the football, I don't think has been as good this year as it's. There are people that are starting to question whether or not the football is even as good as it used to be, because some of these rules, especially the catch rule or whatever, there's been a couple of very controversial catches that should have been called catches that weren't called catches, and they're going to relook at how the catch rule. How hard is it to determine what is a catch and what isn't a catch? It's amazing how much they've micromanaged that. But so there's a lot of negativity that's surrounding the NFL. Will that translate into lower ratings? I think it will. I think the ratings are going to be down. I think the NFL is going to be in trouble. They are talking about how even Timberlake came out and said his son will never play football. He won't let his son play football. Well, that's starting to become the mentality of a lot of parents. They don't want their kids to play football because they're starting to see the effects of concussions that's causing CTE, which really messes with your head in a bad way. I mean, it's caused two prominent players like Duerson and Seau to commit suicide, which is terrible. I mean, two, relatively young men who still probably had 30 years in front of them easy are gone. And they were, both considered very good guys by their teammates, but towards the end there were wild mood swings, and they talked about a different kind of person than the people they used to know, which is sad. And that's why I say Gronkowski has to take a serious look at his concussion and wonder, this fun-loving big goof of a guy, does he want to continue getting concussions and end up in a bad way, 20 years from now? And you don't wish that on anybody. You don't want anybody to end up like that. So parents are pulling their kids away from it. Younger people, they just don't care about the Super Bowl. They're getting into sports like lacrosse and soccer, and those are sports that they're more interested in because their parents are letting them play them, so they're getting interested. There's more coverage of lacrosse and soccer than there ever has been. So there's a lot more coverage. They can see those games, and those are the games that they're going to like. Baseball used to be our national pastime a long time ago. Then football has kind of become our national pastime. I hate to say it, but maybe in 20 years, 25 years, maybe the national pastime is football, not football. It's European or, Middle Eastern or Asian football. It's the world's football, not the NFL. I'm not predicting that by any stretch of the imagination, but I can see it happening. Young people, they all want their own identities, and we all do. When we were young, we want our path, our identities. We don't necessarily want to do what our parents did or like what they like. We want to blaze our own trails, and the young people of today want to do the same thing. So I think the ratings are going to be down. I think the NFL is in a little bit of trouble. I'm hoping they can come up with a way to fix CTE or prevent concussions. I don't see it happening in the near future, but I hope for it. So with all that being said, to the troops, past, present, and future, thanks for the freedom.